So do you also want to extract and post your article insights on your LinkedIn? Then this video is definitely for you. So hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect, and in this video we are going to understand how to extract and post article insights using an AI agent. So like you, I also used to do this manually, but this is such a time consuming and a tedious task. So to solve this problem, I've simply created this amazing automation where what is going to happen is that as soon as I add the article details into my Google Sheets automatically using Dumpling AI and API by Pabbly, we are just going to crawl the content from that article, and further using OpenAI we are just going to generate the content to post on our LinkedIn, and then using that same content we are going to share a post on LinkedIn. So to do this, we are simply going to create a connection between Google Sheets, API by Pabbly, OpenAI and LinkedIn, and to create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So if you also want to create this amazing automation for your own business, then for that you have to come with me towards my screen. Welcome to my screen everyone. In this video I'll show you how to use an AI agent to automatically extract the key insights from articles and turn them into short and engaging summaries you can instantly share across platforms like social media, blogs or newsletters. So whether you are curating industry trends or highlighting thoughts of leadership content, this workflow saves you hours of reading and writing. So let's dive in and build an AI-powered system that turns long reads into bit-sized brilliance. So yes, I've already created this automation, and first I'm just going to show you the proper working of this automation, and for that I'm just going to enter the category and the URL right over here, and once I'm just going to enter the category and the URL automatically using this same category and this URL automatically a summary will be generated. First this website will be crawled using Dumpling AI, and then the summary will be generated, and automatically a caption for LinkedIn will be generated, and that will be posted on my LinkedIn. So yes, I'm just going to refresh it right from here and check that if a new post has been posted on my LinkedIn or not. So we just have to wait for a few seconds and then we have to refresh it right from here, otherwise we'll not be able to see the post. So I'm just going to wait for a few seconds, and now I'm just going to refresh it, and as you can see that within seconds and in real time the post has been posted on LinkedIn. Over here you can see it is saying cricket enthusiast stuck in 2025, we have got you covered. Not sure how to obtain a fast and verified online cricket ID or how to start betting online? Gear up and engage reading. So yes, you can see our latest articles on this, light on the different facts of betting online and provide a step-by-step guide to get you shared in the exciting world of the online cricket games. So yes, you can see that we have also attached the URL with the help of which they can read all the articles. So yes, this is no magic, this is the power of automation which we are just going to create in today's video. And if you also want to create this amazing automation for your own business, then for that you have to watch this tutorial till the end. So to do this, I'm simply going to open a new tab, and I'm just going to look for the landing page of Pabbly Connect simply by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. And now it is opening the landing page of Pabbly Connect, and over here we're just going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you are a new user, you can click on this sign up for free, and you're going to get 100 of stars free every month to explore the application. But over here I am an existing user, so I'm simply going to click on this button which says sign in, and once I'm just going to click on this sign in, it is opening all Pabbly apps, and over here you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications. So I'm simply going to click on this access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connects account, and now it is opening my dashboard. And to get started, I'm simply going to click on this button which says create workflow, and now it's asking me for the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So over here on my dashboard you can see multiple folders which I have already created in which I save my workflows. So if you also want to create a folder, you can go towards this create new folder button and create your own. I've already created many, so I'm just going to save my workflow in one of these which is automations, and now I'm just going to name my workflow as this: extract and post article insights using AI agent. And then we are simply going to click on this button which says create, and once I'm just going to click on this create, it is going to open the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. Trigger and actions are the two main principles on which our workflow is going to run. Trigger means when this happens, and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the actions are response towards the commands given by a trigger, and that's the particular reason that we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of a trigger in a particular particular workflow. And to get started, I'm simply going to select my trigger application as Google Sheets. So I'm just going to search for Google Sheets right over here, and as you can see the same, so we are simply going to select it. And now for the trigger event, I'm just going to select it as new or updated spreadsheet row, and now it is giving me a webhook URL. So we are just going to use this same webhook URL in order to create a connection between our Google Sheets and our Pabbly Connect's workflow. So what I'm just going to do is I'm simply going to copy this webhook URL, and then I'm just going to open my spreadsheet. And after opening my spreadsheet, we have to go towards this extensions, add-ons, and then we have to go towards this get add-ons. And after coming over here towards this get add-ons, we have to add an extension in this spreadsheet, which is Pabbly Connect webhooks. So we are simply going to search for it, and as you can see that I have already installed this Pabbly Connect webhooks. So if you haven't installed this, you're going to get the option of install right over here, and you can install it right from here. And once you install this, you have to refresh your spreadsheet. So it is a really important step to refresh your spreadsheet. Otherwise, you'll not be able to get the option of Pabbly Connect webhooks right over here in your extensions tab. And after getting this option, you have to go towards this initial setup. And now it is asking me for the webhook URL and the trigger columns. We are simply going to paste the URL which we copied from my workflow. And now for the trigger column, I'm simply going to enter my trigger column, which is B. So the trigger column will be your final data column on which if the data is added, the whole of that row will be sent towards your webhook URL. Alright, so for me, the trigger column is B, but for you, it will be according to your own spreadsheet. And after entering this webhook URL and the trigger column, I'm simply going to click on this button which says submit. And with this, it is saying setup configured successfully. With this, we have successfully created a connection between our Google Sheets and our Pabbly Connect's workflow. But now it is saying waiting for a webhook response, and in the notes it is saying do a test submission / record. So in order to capture this webhook response, we have to do a test submission and record. For that, I'm just going to open my spreadsheet. We are just going to go towards this extensions, Pabbly Connect webhooks, and over here you have to keep in mind that this button should always be switched on, which is send on event, because upon switching on this button, what is going to happen is that now whenever a new event is going to occur in this spreadsheet, automatically my workflow is going to get triggered. So as you can see that I've already switched on this button, you have to keep in mind that this button should be switched on in your spreadsheet also. And now we're just going to do the test submission. For that, I'm just going to enter the category right over here, and now I'm just going to enter the URL, which is this. So as you can see that this is for business, so I'm simply going to enter this URL right over here. And once I'm just going to enter both of these details, with this we have successfully completed the test submission, and now these details have been sent towards our webhook URL. So I'm just going to open my workflow, and over here you can see that Pabbly has captured the response for the same. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our trigger step, and now I'm just going to move on towards my action step. So first, I'm just going to use Dumpling AI in order to extract the details from this website. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to select my action application as API by Pabbly. So over here, I'm just going to use API by Pabbly. It is a feature by Pabbly, alright. And now for the action event, I'm simply going to select it as execute API request and click on this connect. So you're just going to use this feature of Pabbly to connect Dumpling AI with Pabbly Connect. Now it is asking me for the action event, so I'm simply going to select the action event as custom request. And now for the custom request method, I'm just going to simply keep it as post right over here. And now it is asking me for the API endpoint. And to get this API endpoint, I'm just going to open a document. Alright, so as you can see that I've successfully opened this document. You don't have to worry, you're going to get the link of this document in the description box below. You can simply open this document right from there. And after opening this document, you simply have to go towards this API references, and over here in the left side of the bar you can see all the endpoints. So what we have to do today, we have to do web scraping and crawl websites. So I'm just going to go towards this web scraping and then crawl website, and over here you're going to see that this is the post endpoint. So I'm simply going to copy it right from here, and then I'm just going to paste it right over here in this API endpoint. And after pasting this, I'm just going to move on further. It is saying payload type, I'm just going to keep it as JSON right over here, and now it is asking me for the authentication, so I'm just going to keep it as bearer token. So you simply have to follow me, alright. So to get this bearer token, I'm just going to open my Dumpling AI account. So as you can see that I've already created this account. You first have to create this account, and then you have to open this account. And after opening this Dumpling AI account, you have to go towards this left side of the bar towards this API keys. And over here you're going to create a secret key. For that, we are simply going to click on this create new secret API key. I'm just going to name my key and click on this create key. And now my key has been created, so I'm simply going to copy this key, and then we're just going to paste that key right over here in our workflow under this bearer token. And after pasting this key, I'm just going to move on further to saying add headers and set parameters. So both of these are not the required fields. So I'm just going to leave it as blank and I'm just going to move on towards this data. Over here in this data, I'm just going to enter raw JSON. From where I'm just going to get this, I'm just going to open the same documentation, and over here you're going to see a request body. So what we have to do is we simply have to use this request body. I'm just going to copy this request body and I'm just going to paste it right over here. And now I'm just going to format it according to my own. So over here for the string of the URL, I simply have to map the URL which I want to crawl. So what I'm just going to do is I'm simply going to map it. So you must be wondering what is mapping. So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step was the trigger step where we selected Google Sheets as our trigger application. So we are simply going to map the details from the response of a trigger application only, and as soon as we are just going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. So I'm simply going to map this URL which we received from our Google Sheets. So this is the URL which I want to crawl, and that is the reason that I've mapped it. And I'm just going to erase this rest of the details which are not required. You have to keep in mind that after this comma you have to erase this details. All right, and I'm just going to move on towards the next, which is limit. So it is saying max pages to crawl. So over here you can see the max pages to crawl. We have to set the limit for that right over here. So I want to only crawl one page right over here, so I'm simply going to set the limit as 1. So instead of this number, I'm just going to enter 1 and I'm just going to enter it manually because this will remain static. And I'm just going to erase this rest of the detail which is not required. Next, I'm just going to move on further towards this depth. Over here for the depth, I'm just going to keep it as 2 because the default is 2. If you wish, you can definitely change it. Once again, I'm just going to erase the not required detail. And now for the format, I'm just going to enter it as text. You can use markdown, text or raw too. I'm just going to keep it as text. All right, so I'm simply going to enter this text manually right over here. And once again, I'm just going to erase the details which are not required. And after doing this, we have successfully completed this data thing. And now what I'm just going to do is I'm simply going to click on this save and send as request. And as you can see that it is giving me a error right over here. It is saying the application process, but the request returned a blank response. So there must be a mistake which we have done. So I'm just going to move on further. And over here you can see that in the endpoint URL I've also copied and pasted this post. So you have to keep in mind that you don't have to paste this post right over here. You only have to copy the URL from HTTPS and paste it right over here. All right, so I have to delete this post. All right, so now after doing this, once again I'm just going to click on this save and send test request and check that if now we are getting the response or not. So yes, you can see that now we are just going to get the response, which is the crawled website response. Yes, you can see that we have successfully received the response. You can see the URL, you can see the format, depth, limit of pages right over here, and also you can see the rest of the details. And over here you're going to see all the keywords. We're just going to move on further, and over here you're going to see the content of that page. So yes, you can see that we have successfully crawled this page right over here. And now what I'm just going to do is using this crawled content, I'm just going to generate the content for my LinkedIn post. So for that, I'm just going to add another action step. And now for the action application, I'm simply going to select it as my another AI agent, which is OpenAI. So I'm just going to search for OpenAI and select it. And now for the action event, I'm simply going to select it as ChatGPT and click on this connect. Now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your OpenAI account with your Pabbly Connect's workflow, you can simply click on this button which says select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now it is asking me for the token. And to get this token, we are simply going to follow the help text, and it is saying kindly visit your OpenAI API key page to get the API key that you need to enter here. So I'm simply going to go towards my OpenAI API key page to get the API key. And after coming over here towards this page, we simply have to click on this button which says create secret key. We have to enter the key name, select the project and click on the create secret key, and your key will be created. I've already created mine key, so I'm simply going to paste it right over here and click on this button which says save. And with this, we have successfully connected our OpenAI account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And now it is asking me to select the AI model. So I'm simply going to select my AI model as GPT-4. You can select any another of your choice. And now it is asking me for the prompt. So I'm simply going to enter my prompt right over here. So as you can see that we have successfully entered the prompt, and I'm just going to simply map the content from this dumpling AI right over here. Alright, so I'm simply going to map the content right over here. I'm just going to look for the content and map it. And now I'm just going to also map the URL. So I'm just going to enter URL manually, and then I'm just going to map the URL which we received from the spreadsheet. So I'm just going to simply map it. And after doing this, I'm simply going to click on this save and send test request. And now using the details of the crawled website and the URL, automatically my AI agent is going to generate me the LinkedIn post content. So as you can see that my AI agent has successfully generated me this LinkedIn post content with the hashtags and the URL. And I'm just going to simply post it on my LinkedIn. For that, I'm just going to add another action step. And now for the action application, I'm simply going to select it as LinkedIn right over here. But now for the action event, I'm simply going to select it as share a simple text and click on this connect. Now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your LinkedIn account, you can go towards this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, connect with LinkedIn, and over here I'm just going to enter my credentials. And after entering this credentials, I'm simply going to click on this sign in. And once I'm just going to click on this sign in with this, my LinkedIn account will be successfully connected with my Pabbly Connect's workflow. So we just have to wait for a few seconds, and over here you can see that we have successfully connected. And now it is asking me to select the author, so I'm simply going to select it as Ashi, and now it is asking me for the content. So I'm simply going to map this content which my AI agent generated, which is OpenAI. Now it is saying visibility, so I'm just going to keep it as public. You can also keep it as connections. And after doing all of this, I'm simply going to click on this blue button which says save and send as request. And once I'm just going to click on this save and send as request, automatically this content which my AI generated will be posted on my LinkedIn. So yes, you can see that we have received the positive response that we have successfully posted this on our LinkedIn. So I'm just going to open my LinkedIn and check for the content posted. So I'm just going to open my LinkedIn and I'm just going to refresh it right from here. And once I'm just going to refresh it, you're going to see a new post has been posted on my LinkedIn. You can see that this is the same post which my AI agent generated. And over here, you're going to see that there's also a link. So I'm just going to open my link, and this is exactly the same link which we crawled. So yes, with this, we have successfully posted this on our LinkedIn, and with this, we have successfully completed our workflow. And now what is going to happen is, like I showed you in the starting of this video, once I'm just going to enter the category and the URL right over here in the spreadsheet automatically. First, using Dumpling AI, we're just going to crawl this website, and then OpenAI is going to generate the content to post on LinkedIn using that same crawled website content. So yes, all of this is going to happen in backend. We don't have to come back and again to our workflow to click on save and send test request. I use this URL as an example to show you in this video. You can crawl any website and post it on LinkedIn, or you can also mail it towards your clients, or you can also try different automation by adding multiple action steps. Alright, so yes, now go try this amazing automation for your own business too, because right now we are offering a free trial of Pabbly Connect. And while trying, if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. See you in the next video with many more automation tips, everyone. Thank you for watching. So not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly Connect, you can connect many more applications. So now if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this URL. And now go try this amazing automation for your own business too, because right now we are offering a free trial of Pabbly Connect.